Hey guys, welcome back to High Wheel Woodworks. I'm Tim Eggers. One of the questions that I often get here on our YouTube page is, what's that tool wall behind your bench all about? So I thought I'd give you a little tour of that today and show you some of the things that we do. This is my tool wall behind my bench. My bench is over here in front of it, so when I'm doing handwork, everything that I need is pretty much turn around and grab it right here. Starting out at this end, obviously we've got the whole selection of Stanley planes 2 all the way up to number 8. Smoothing planes, finished planes, little chamfer planes, stuff like this. Got a couple of the old bacon savers up here, the cabinet scrapers. Those work really well when you need to scrape the surface off of something. Shoulder planes up here. I have a nice Stanley 71 router plane here, a fence that goes on some of the big planes. And when you come down to doing things with the block planes, got a selection of little hand block planes there and a little squirrel tail plane there. Those are handy for doing small things. You got to have a 45, of course, for doing molding and things like that. A plow plane, all our dividers for measuring out dovetails, things like that. Of course, you got rulers. Got a little chisel plane that a buddy of mine did. This is kind of neat. It's a little wooden shoulder plane. Kind of always enjoy that. Got a Stanley 113 compass plane up here. Obviously, we have our selection of card scrapers here if we do a lot of card scraping work, and burnishers to sharpen those up with. Get down here, got my bench dogs if I'm doing an oddball glue up, so I can get a glue up in and tighten it up with a bench dog. You got to have a couple of the bevel plane or bevel gauges there. Squares of all different varieties up here. I've got a bunch of chisels down here as well as the ones down on below, and I just love those long magnets that you get. I go to Harbor Freight and I get a magnet set up like that for $5 or $6. All my chisels and screwdrivers and stuff down there are held in place with the magnet strips. Works out real well. If we come over here, obviously more chisels, little mallet if I need to smack something into place, a little jeweler's drill, marking gauges and all that. You got to have a couple back saws for doing dovetail work. Like those a lot. More chisels and stuff. I do keep a set of electric drills and drivers down here just because if I'm putting in some Kreg screws or something like that, I want those to be readily available. And of course, you got to have a little beading plane with the bits that go along with that. You got to have enough of the spoke shades in there to get your work done. And of course, you always got to leave your worries at the end where the faith begins. So that's my little tool wall. I enjoy it a lot. I've got one on the other side of the shop as well that I'll show you another day. These are the ones that I use on a regular basis. So like I said, I keep those real handy right next to my bench. So whenever I need something, it's always right there. It's always real handy. Plus, it's fun to collect them. It's fun to learn how to use them. It's fun to sharpen them up and just see what they can do. Some pretty neat stuff. So when you get into tools, be careful. It can be pretty addicting. So go out there and put yourself together a tool wall. This is how mine works. If you've got a question on it, just reach out and ask any questions you have on it. We can give you as much detail as you like. Or if you'd comment on what your tool wall looks like or post a picture of that, that'd be great. So thanks again for stopping by. Tim Eggers, High Wheel Woodworks. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button and leave a comment if you would.